Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? My name is Bill. Welcome back to my channel. First time viewers, stick around. You're going to learn something today. If you've been around here before, I appreciate you coming back. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. It's doesn't take much. Just click it. Click it, and I'll get the rewards from you clicking it. I really appreciate that. But I'm gonna start today by going over something from Etsy that I found, a file from Etsy that I found. Valentine's Day is coming up, so I figured I'd do Valentine's Day earrings. And I thought it would be neat to just go ahead and show you guys how you can create your own instead of buying them off Etsy. You can use Etsy as like an inspiration, and you can find different things that you want to try to do on it. You can buy them from Etsy as well too. I bought many files from Etsy, but these I just thought, no, I'm not paying $5 for a digital file that I can do for myself in 5 minutes. So, but I'm gonna show you in Etsy where I found it and kind of go over Lightburn on how I did create these things, and put another one together that I did like last year. And I'm not gonna cut any of these out. I'm not gonna burn any of these. These are the ones I have already done. The other one that I'm going to show you that I did last year, I'm just going to show you on in Lightburn on how you can do it. But the ones that I'm going to show you today, the new ones are from Etsy, and I'm going to just show you how I designed them. They're already cut out. The hardware is already on them, so they're all done. They're not painted. They're not stained. You can do whatever you want with them. They can be stained or painted, like I said. But yeah, I'm going to jump into Lightburn here. First, I'm going to jump into Etsy, and I'm going to show you where I came up with the inspiration for it. All right, so let me go ahead and switch the camera over to let me switch it over to here. Now I want to pull up a web page, and this is what I found on Etsy. I just typed in there, I think it was love Valentine's Day earrings, or earrings Valentine's Day love, and these all came up. This is the ones I'm going to show you today. Is this these right here? You can see they're $5 for just a digital file. Over here is $5 for this digital file. That's just a lot of money to me for one set of earrings. You can come over here for $8. You can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of earrings. Over here is $12, $13. You can get a bunch of set of earrings, and you can go down through and you can see. But here's a whole pile of them for $4. But these are the ones I'm going to concentrate on today. Are these right here? And what I did is I just right clicked on it, and I just copied it, is all I did. Let me go ahead and close that out. And let me pull up Lightburn. Now, in Lightburn, it's going to take a little bit longer today to create these because I'm videoing them. But normally, I would say probably 5 minutes, you can have them done yourself. But it's real easy to do. And what I told you, I made a copy of that picture and just pasted it on here so that I would have it as like a reference. So zoom in on this, you can see that's exactly what it was. And it was $5 for that digital file. Crazy. That's crazy. And you're going to see here how quick and easy it is to make. First thing you're going to do is you're going to start with a box. And you're going to want your box on a toolpath, either T1 or T2. And you're going to want it to be, and this is preference. This is all your preference on what it is that you want it to be, how big you want it to be, how small you want it to be. But I'm going to make the height of 36 millimeters, and I'm going to make the width of, I think, 26 millimeters. So I know with that toolpath that whatever I make, it has to be inside that boundaries of that toolpath. So you're going to come over here to the A. You're going to click on the A, and you're going to put LO. Let me change this to 0 for right now. And I'm going to go below it, and I'm going to put VE. Now, click your selector tool. Click on this first one, and you're going to want to pull it up just a little bit. Click on the bottom one, the V and the E, and you're going to click that up just a little bit. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that these are centered together. You don't want to have, I mean, you might want it like this. That could be a neat little project or a neat little look or effect to it. But I want mine to be straight up and down, just like it looks in that picture. So you're going to click the first one, hold Control, click the second one, and then you're going to come up here and you're going to center them together. Now, you know they are centered. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to click the top one, and you're going to want to do the H space till they start to overlap. Now, you see how it's starting to cut that away and weld them together? It's because welded is checked here. If you unchecked welded, it's just going to overlap them. If you make sure welded is checked, because that's what I want it to do, I'm going to make sure that that's checked. And as you see, when you pull it in, it's going to put those overlap, and then it's going to weld them together. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. And I'm going to make that 21 also. So minus 21. And that's going to weld those together. Okay. Now, with those all welded together, what you're going to want to do is, once again, just make sure that they are still centered. And they are. Now, you're going to want to take this bottom one, and you're going to move it up. Oop, too far. Move it up. Hit Control. Go up slowly until you see that they are all intersected on each of these lines. That's overlapped. That's overlapped. It's overlapped there. So that's going to allow that to weld together and be a lot more sturdy than if you didn't. If you had it down lower and only this piece and this piece was touching, then it would be a lot more flimsy. So you want to make sure that they are overlapping. Now, easy. Come over here. Select both of them. Weld them together. All right, so that's your basic design. Now, you're going to come over here and put that on the cut layer, which is my red layer. And let me switch over to the other camera real quick. And I want to show you what I'm talking about with the next section that I'm about to do. You see how I have these lines going across underneath the L and the V? And over here under the O and the E? And then up and down on between the V and the E. What you're looking for there is it's going to define it. It's the way they have it on theirs. If you look up above here in a second, you're going to see they don't have those lines. So it doesn't separate them. It just looks like LOVs all together. Where you do it this way, those lines separate it and make a border around all those. And it makes that L look like an L, the O look like an O, the V look like a V, and so on. So what we're going to do to make that is, all right, we got to mirror this. It flipped around on me, so let me go ahead and mirror that back up. Now, what you want to do is you want to click your pencil tool. And I think before I do the pencil tool, give me 1 second. I want to move this one, ungroup everything, and I want to move this one up. But before I do that, let me pull this line down and put that right across there. That's my tool path. Otherwise, it's going to have a line coming on an angle to this corner. I want it to be straight across. So now I have that line there. I can go ahead up, zoom in. I think I went too far. I did. Come down just a hair. And that'll be okay. Let me just, there we go. All right, now that is straight across this V all the way across to this E, and the O and the L is all in one complete line. Now I can go ahead and delete that tool path. And what you're going to do in order to get those lines going across, like I was just telling you, get your pencil tool, click where that bullseye is, come across to where you get the bullseye. Now, go up. Now right-click to get off of that. We're going to do the same across this. Get your bullseye, bring it across to that bullseye, and then get off that. Now, we want to come straight up here. Get your bullseye and bring it straight up. Get that. Now go off it. Okay, so what you're looking at, that's going to give you your lines of what you want. We also want to make this O and the L separated too. So let's go ahead and put a bullseye, bring it down to right where this one comes to right there, and go off that. Now, we're going to delete this piece here. I just wanted to leave that there so I knew I had a reference of where I wanted to have it. Now, we're going to go to the node editing right here. Click on a node editing, and we're going to click on that line, and I'm going to put an M for middle. It's going to put a node right in the middle. Now, go pull this down. Let's make that a smooth. So we're going to click that, get it red, hit S for smooth. Now I can smooth that down to about where that is right there. That'll be fine. You can get a little more crazy, and you can make this a little bit more smooth, but that's going to look really good with this small image. Now, click on this, right click, and then delete. And there's your O. It looks just about the same as what it is over there. And then you have your other lines going across here, separating all those. Now, what you want to do, if you try to burn that right now, it's going to be such a little small line, you won't notice it. So a thing you can do is click on it, come over here to Offset Tool. And there, the computer finally woke up. Now, in Offset Tool, I'm going to want to make that, I think I'm going to start with 0.5. Let me see what that looks. That's too big, so let's go 0.1. 0.1, I think looks good. Now, you want to delete the original object. You don't want that middle line left there. So go ahead and hit OK. And it got rid of that. Now, come over onto this line. You want to do the same thing. Offset, make sure delete original, what was it, 0.1, okay, and make sure that's delete the original object. Come over here to this one. Every line that you created with that pencil tool, you want to offset them. Do the same thing, 0.1, that's done. Now, one more to go, and that's this right here. Do the same thing, offset, delete the original, and that's done. Now, when you go to burn this, that's actually all gonna burn real nice. Now, you can go ahead and you can click this. You can do your pencil tool, your scissors. You can get rid of that. You can get rid of that one. And I think that's the only one you got to get rid of. Yes. Okay. That's your design. Now, we're going to put this. Hold Control, click all these ones I just did, and we're going to put those on a blue layer so that you can see. All right, let's see if I can. Where was it here? Where was it? Where was it? Somewhere I can select it and tools. I was looking to find where it is. All right, I'm just going to go ahead back before I snipped them, because it's going to come out right anyway. And I'm going to leave them like that. Now, we're going to select the ones we just did. Select that one, turn that to the blue layer. So now you have what you have. I just don't like how those are like that. So let's go ahead and click this one. Pull it right to about there. Grab this one. Shrink it down to there. All right. I don't think with as small as it is, you're going to notice that little space right there. But what we can do is we can go ahead and click this one. And so you don't see that little lip right there. Let's go ahead and put that back on a red layer. Go into node editing, take this one, and just pull it down to right about to the top of that line. All right, that's as close as you can get without it actually burning over and having a little spot there. That'll look just fine. All right, let's go out of that. Let's turn that one back to the blue layer. And there we go. I like that. That looks good. That looks real good. Now, you have to have your hook. to be able to put your hardware on. So you want to go ahead and create a perfect circle. Hold your shift. If you don't hold shift, you start drawing your circle, hit shift, it's going to make that into a perfect circle. We'll make it roughly that big. Put it on the cut layer. Now let's put this roughly where we want to have it. And we're going to click all of these. And I want to group those together. Now, first one you click moves, remember? Second one is going to stay. Now you want to center that. You saw it move just that little bit. That is exactly in the center. If you had this over to here, then your ear is going to, it'll be crooked. I want my ear to stand straight up and down. So that's why you put your circle and the LOVE, you want to put those centered with each other. That's going to make it so when you put your hardware on there, that your earring is going to stand straight up and down. Now, click. I think I want to actually have it up just a hair more. Roughly right there, I think. Now, let's just make sure one more time that it is centered, because I did move it a little bit. There we go. You saw it move just a hair. Now, take this ring, Control D, duplicate it. And hit Control and bring that in. You want to have it in pretty far, because if you don't, then this little space between this is going to be very brittle. So you want to have it in pretty far. Right about there should work fine. Now, take these two, weld them. Put those on a red layer. And then take this one, ungroup it now. Take this one you did, this one you did, and somewhere my other line just disappeared on us. So let's put that line back in there. Go to pencil tool, click it, bring it down to roughly there, click it. Now, come on in here, hit the node editing tool, click on it, hit M for middle, and let's bring that down one more time. Now hit S for smooth, and it's going to smooth that out. And try to make that as nice and smooth and roundish as you can make it. All right, we got to do that one more time. We have to offset it, delete the original, and now let's go back in here, node editing. Let's take this one up, take this one up. Let me zoom in and see if I can get a little bit lower, because you don't want to see too much of a line there. All right, that should be fine. And then take this one straight over and down. As long as it ain't overlapping, you're good to go. Right there. All right, that's going to give you your illusion of your lines. Now, selector tool. Because it is all grouped now. So I cannot, it will not allow me to, give me a second. That's why. Okay, I do have to go back. See, now you're going to see all my mess ups and everything. All right, let's keep going back till we had right there. Okay. Now, ungroup all these, because when I grouped them, that made all those the same, which we do not want it to be. Now, select these two here. You see the blue is not dancing now. That blue is going to be separated. And then go ahead and hit the weld button. And there you have it. So, even with my mess up, you still saved $5. It only took me maybe a minute longer until I finally got to where I needed it to be. But that's going to come out really nice. These lines might be a little too thick, so you could always adjust them a little bit. You can always make them a little bit skinnier. Hit Control bring it in roughly right about, we'll leave it right there. That'll be fine. And move this one. We'll leave that one alone. Move this one in just a hair. Right there. That'll be fine. That'll look real nice. So that's how easy that was. Now you want to take all of these and you want to make them as big as you can. Hold in the control button. Make them as big as you can to try to fit inside-ish that that tool path that you had. So let's make it a little bit bigger and make it a little bit wider. And I think that's pretty good right there. I don't mind that at all. We'll leave that right there like that. So the blue is going to burn and the red is all going to cut. Now, there's one more that I did want to make, and it's a real basic and simple one also. You're going to make your square, however big you want to make it. It's whatever size you want. Probably that's going to be okay. The other one was like 36 millimeters, so this ought to be fine right here. We can go just a little bit longer, and that'll be fine. It's your preference, whatever it is you want to see it at. Now, come over here to the A. Click in there, hit L. Enter O, enter V, enter E. Okay, there's your sign. Now, we want to make that a little bit so it will fit up inside, and we're going to want to do the H space to get them closer together. And now we can make it a little bit bigger to the size of what we want. And I think that looks pretty okay right there. Now, you can't change this right this second. So what you need to do is you need to highlight it, right-click, and then do convert to path. Now, each one of these is a single piece. You want to definitely group your O together. Otherwise, the outside is going to be one and the inside is going to be another. So you want to make sure that those are grouped. And you want to make sure they are straight up and down. So you click the first one, click the outer, and then you want to center that. Now, click the first one, click the O, click the L, center it. Remember, the first one you click is the one that moves. Click that, click the O, center it. And then vice versa. E, oh, messed up. Go back. E, V, center. Now they are all centered up together. Now I want to make these probably just a little bit smaller and drop them down just a little bit because I want to put a little circle up here. And I'm going to try to keep the circle about the same as what that is right there. So to get that, you click over here, hold shift. Once you go over to the other side, you know you got that circle of what it is over there. Now bring that up and let's put that right about there. You want to make sure you have enough meat between your bones here because if you don't, then it's going to be real brittle. So click the first one, that's going to move. Second one's going to stay. Click the first one, click the second one. I'm also clicking that top image, which I don't want. And now go ahead and hit center. And that's centered it in there. Now, if you go to cut this out, what you're going to do is you're going to cut two cuts here. The inner circle and the outer circle. So all you're going to be left with is one big circle. You can make this a heart in the middle, or you can leave it as an O. What you do to keep that O so that it keeps the inner and the outer together, just go ahead and get yourself another box, Make it a little smaller than the L, but bring it down about that far. Now, click on it, bring that in between here. That's a little bit too wide, so let's go ahead and hit Control and shrink them in together. to right about there. Now, first one, second one, center it. Now, you click both of these, you hit Control and B for Boolean. You can see which one you want to have. Is that what you want it to look like? No. You don't want it to be that. That's the one you want. You click, subtract A from B, hit OK. Now that's going to cut this out. Leave this middle part, cut this out. So there you go. There's another earring. And all you do, Control D for duplicate. There's two earrings. Control D for duplicate. There's a complete set of earrings. So you got two complete set of two earrings right there. That was easy. So that's how easy it was to do that. The lines in the LO, in the love part, that's the LO above, the V at the bottom. If you don't put those lines in there, that's fine. You don't have to. It looks okay without them in there. If you look here, it looks good with them, but it also looks okay if you zoom in on this. It also looks okay there too. It don't look bad. But if you put those lines across, it just adds to it. And once again, if you're at a craft show, you have these set up, and the person booth next to you has those set up without the lines on them. Which one are you going to buy? You know you're going to buy the ones with lines. It shows that you took a little more time in what you were planning on how you were creating. And it's just so much nicer when you take that extra time and people see it, people notice it, and they will buy yours over the person next to you who don't take that extra time. Not that theirs isn't okay. Theirs looks very fine. It just don't look as okay. It just don't look as good as what you have there. It just looks so much better. So take your time. Find different ways to make yours stand out than the next one. Every little bit that you can do to make your stuff stand out more is going to be money in your pocket. That's why everyone does this stuff. They do it to try to make a little bit of money. Most people are just doing it for a side hustle. Some people are doing it for their main business. Whatever it is you're looking for. I do it videos because I love doing them. I like trying to teach people, show people some things that maybe they didn't know. And in return, you guys are going to show me a lot of stuff that I didn't know. Once you start dropping some comments down below, I'll be able to see, oh, well, I could have done it this way. Because there's so many ways to do things in Lightburn, so many ways to do things in every program that you have out there. This is just the way I go about Lightburn and working it and putting my product together. This is how I do it. But take your time. Find little ways to make your stuff stand out more than the next guy. And if you do that, I promise you'll definitely do a lot better than the stand next to you who don't really take their time to try to make things a little bit nicer. People will notice it. You notice it. I notice it. We all notice it. And if I'm going to spend just about the same amount of money, I'm going to buy the one with the person who took their time and really thought out their stuff that they were making. And just, appreciate what people go through to be able to make these things. And that's the way if I go to a stand and I see something that I like, this one looks okay, this one is the same thing, but they took their time and they stood out a little more from the details that they did with it, then I'm buying the one with the details, obviously. So I think that's it. You saw real quickly on how well it is that how easy it is you can make these these earrings in this video that I put out here. And you saw my mess ups too, and it happens. When you're doing these things, you will mess up. We all mess up. I mess up probably more than the next guy, but I do mess up. And you got to see that. And you got to see how I went back to where I was so I can get myself back on track with what it is. Even the mess ups, even doing it on camera, it still only took a few minutes to do. Save $5, kept that in my pocket, and now I can either try to put these on a stand and sell them, or I can give them away as a present for Valentine's coming up. But if you got something out of this, give me some thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking out as long as what you did. It means a lot to me. It really, really does. And if you would subscribe, just go ahead and click it. It's easy. It's easy. Just go down there, click subscribe, and then you can do the bell notifications. So anything else I do bring out, you'll get right away. And pass these on to other folks. Let them see that I'm out there and that I'm putting this stuff out for everyone. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you much. Stay safe. Till next one. Thank you.